Hey guys, we're back for a quick pop in. I have some news that I know you guys can absolutely use. So let's get into the video, okay? Everything said in the video is alleged, in my opinion, and is used for fair use and entertainment. I am Caramel Rail. This is the Caramel Rail Show. Let's get into the video, okay? Again, fair use. Again, fair use. Let's get it pulled up. We have two topics that we need to run through right quick. This one is absolutely an update because we kind of covered some of this on Car Chronicles this morning in my morning video. So now we need to do an update because some things have transpired since then. All right, let me get my glasses on, honey, because we're going to be doing a little reading. All right, just took them off and put them back on. All right, so Angela Tucker rather faces racist backlash after reducing the bond for teen charged in fatal teen stabbing. We gotta say stab, okay, for YouTube's sake, okay. All right, let me get this pulled up. I'm gonna look over here as well. All right, so let's get into it. All right, so as you guys can see, on my screen, it says that this is the judge who slashed Carmelo Anthony's bond from $1 million to $250K. Need I say more? So they're trying to say that she was doing some underhanded stuff when she made a decision as a judge, which she felt would be best. All right. So shout out to It's On Site. Let's get into it. This is the case where the young man, 17-year-old, was bullied and or confronted by twin boys at a game, at a sporting event rather. He was sitting down in the stands and he was approached to move from his seat so that they could sit there. He refused. That then turned into an altercation at which he pulled out a weapon, which was believed to be a knife, and we got to say it that way, and proceeded to stab someone in the chest, one of the twins in the chest, and he was unalived. Okay, so he initially had a $1 million bond. The judge then set it at $250,000, of which he did bond out on yesterday. You guys saw the video for that. And he was able to go home to be under home confinement until he actually goes to court. And one of the restrictions is that he could not be on social media as well, which is good because this whole entire case is like blowing up. It's blowing up and it's turning into a media frenzy. But now they're starting to attack the judge. People are actually saying things that they don't like in terms of how the judge is handling this. And they feel like it's racially profiled. They feel like because she's black and he's black, that he's getting some type of favoritism. So let's get into it. Judge Angela Tucker is being flooded with racist memes, unaliving threats, and sexist attacks after she lowered the bond for 17-year-old Carmelo Anthony from $1 million to $250,000. Now, Anthony, who is black, is accused of fatally stabbing a white student, Austin Metcalf, during a confrontation at a Texas track meet. He claims that he acted in self-defense. We talked about this before. So in addition to why the judge decided to give him home confinement until the trial is because he's a non-problematic child. He does have 2 jobs that he's working. He's a straight A student and he's not a problematic child. So the judge made a decision to lower his bond from $1 million to $250,000, and that is sparking outrage into this particular case. Now, conservative voices online quickly escalated the case into a racial firestorm, accusing Tucker of protecting her own and comparing the situation to high-profile cases like Kyle Rittenhouse and George Zimmerman, where white defendants walked free under similar claims. All right, so disclaimer says that On Site does not support or condone bullying or hate speech. This is from their particular post. All right, so let's get into it. Shout out again to It's On Site and Fair Use Act. All right, let's get into this. This is the judge. This person here, Mr. Connor Fabiano, says that I don't care if your child is unalived unless it looks like me. I don't agree with that. This other person says that not shocked that the black live female judge lowered his bail for unaliving a white student. Says that more amazed that the black community is raising $500,000 for this POS, posing with AKs, provoking and then unaliving a student. Says it wants to act hard, but he clearly displayed he is a coward. Give him the express lane to the wheelchair, to the chair. Said that he will get a taste of. I'm not going to read all of that. So these are hate messages. Another person, Matt Wallace, says it calls the judge evil and said that she deserves to spend the rest of her life in prison as well. Why would she go to prison? She's a judge. This is crazy, y'all. This person here uses the N-word, okay? This person uses the N-word. As you guys can see, y'all can read the message as I pull it up. I'm not going to read all of them out loud because some of them are very, very nasty, hurtful messages. This woman is just doing her job as a judge. She didn't ask to get this case. This case was placed in her docket. So she, as a judge, has to act professionally as she can and look at all sides of this case and make the necessary decisions as such. So the decision that she made obviously is not what other people watching this case so closely would want. And now they're lashing out and sending hate messages towards the judge. So I would just scroll and you guys can see. Another person says that watching the other people cry about getting treated unfairly when they literally celebrated when Kyle Rittenhouse and George Zimmerman got off scotch-free. Okay. Another person said that y'all don't say ish when white judges let y'all get away with unaliving, says Kyle Rittenhouse and Zimmerman, a prime example. So they continue to bring up George Zimmerman. Y'all remember the Zimmerman case when he unalived a young man after he was told to stand down, that police were on the way. He was just a security guard and he took the law into his own hands and unalived a young man. Okay. So, and he got off scot-free, which everybody was like really shocked. I was shocked. I'm still shocked that that situation occurred. Okay. So, yeah, y'all can read it. Y'all can read it. People are outraged. People are outraged that the judge lowered the bond. Okay. So a lot of people saying, yeah, they do feel like, some people saying they feel like it was self-defense. Some are just being really nasty in their comments about this judge and or case.
Kyle Rittenhouse.
All right, so let's get into this. That my black people shared this and stand behind Carmelo Anthony. Says time we stop the double standards. Let's get into this.
Okay. After he killed 2 people in cold blood, he raised over $1 million. Okay. Wait a minute. The officer who killed Michael Brown, he raised almost $2 million. So don't tell me that when black folks decide to put money and support behind a young brother who didn't start a fight, who didn't threaten nobody, who was sitting where he could have right to be sitting, was threatened more than one time, was physically attacked, he defends himself, and then all of a sudden he's in jail for murder. But guess what, brother? We gonna stand behind ours like you white folks stand behind yours. Okay, let me be young clear. Brother was attacked. I know you're yelling because you really get worked up.
All right, so this is the shout out to the Big E show. It's called a face-off interview. Obviously, you can see the young man here is upset by this entire case with Carmelo Anthony, which is a 17-year-old teen who is facing some time for unaliving another student who pretty much tried to bully him out of, getting out of his seat when he was sitting there first. Obviously, he and his twin brother, to be exact, and one of the twins were unalived. So
when you're lying, but let me say very clear. But then it's justified. Us killing y'all. When we defend ourselves, now it's murder.
Okay, so we're gonna. Well, that's the end of it anyway. I was gonna say we're gonna stop it because he's getting a little worked up. All right, and we don't want to hear that unaliving word too many times because I don't want to have to edit it out. But that is what was said in this particular video. All right, so it's kind of hit or miss with this case where everybody is kind of split down the middle. You have some people saying they don't feel that it was self-defense. We're seeing some people saying that nah, this guy is the teen was one of those unruly teens who on social media had pictures that maybe he shouldn't have had up with other weapons or whatever. I'm not sure, but from what they're saying, he was a unproblematic child who went to school every day, straight A student, worked 2 jobs. He also was into sports, and he was just out one day at a sporting event, which that's not a crime. And someone approached him in an aggressive tone to ask him to move from a seat that he was already sitting in, and it escalated. Okay. This same thing happened to Rosa Parks back in the day. That's why I asked this morning, is this the 1930s where Rosa Parks was asked to move from her seat that she was sitting and resting in, and she refused to move her feet to give up her seat, and it became an issue. So it's feeling like a 360 situation here. It's feeling like a 360 situation to where a person can walk up to you and just say, hey, get up out of this seat. I want to sit here, when you clearly were sitting there, and it's not an assigned seat. You didn't purchase a seat at a high school track meet. It was just sit anywhere, no assigned seating anywhere. So I'm not sure why these 2 young men felt the need or felt that they had the right to walk up to someone who they didn't even know, to tell them to move from their seat because they wanted to sit there. Like, it's giving bully. It's giving bully. And the young man stood up for himself. Again, I do not promote violence. And again, I do not condone a person taking another person's life. But this young man felt that that's what he was doing in order to protect himself after he was bullied by two overgrown young men who decided to bully him out of something he felt was his, which was his seat. Okay. Let's continue. This is the young man, Mr. Carmelo Anthony. As you guys can see, his bond was reduced from 1 million to 250,000 after the fatal starving claims, and he claimed self-defense in the unaliving of the other teen. Okay, the other teen was, I think, 17 years old as well. So this young man he's facing a hard road ahead, and a lot of prayers go out to him and his family as they figure out how they're going to maneuver through this case. And I hope that they have a lot of security there, because this case is definitely turning into like a little race war a little bit, with a lot of people being upset that this young man is getting this type of break in court in terms of his bail being lowered. I guess people wanted to see him stay in jail until his court date, but obviously the judge saw differently. So I guess shout out to her for doing what she felt was right. It's her decision ultimately. Okay, I don't feel like she did it because he was black. I feel like she did it because she looked at, the evidence at hand and made her decision. So I support it. Right here on my channel. All right. I really don't want to go through and read the comments, because I just know that they're going to be a back and forth of people arguing back and forth, and I don't want a race war, especially on my channel. I don't condone that either. All right, but y'all can put in the chat what you guys think. Okay. Somebody said the 1950s, 1930s. Yeah, it's giving Rosa Parks, honey. It's giving Rosa Parks. Get out your seat, honey. Get out your seat. Why? This is 2025. You sit wherever you want to, and you don't get to walk up to somebody and tell them to move because you want to sit somewhere. Like, absolutely not. And again, I said this morning, now, if you're at an NBA game or a football game where you paid for a seat to sit somewhere and you walk up to your seat and someone is sitting there, politely ask them, say, hey, excuse me, I paid for these seats. Could you please move so that I can get my seat? That's different. But to just walk up to someone willy-nilly because you want to sit somewhere or get a closer seat or a better seat and say, hey, you got to move because I want to sit here. That's bullying. That's harassing. It could be a threatening situation depending on how you say it. Okay. Yeah. So you can't stand over somebody and demand something when you can go sit your ass down somewhere else. Period. Moving on. I know y'all feel what I'm saying. So I really don't understand. Says that why are these people saying he was wrong? Right. Let me look at y'all comments, because I am interested to see how y'all feel. Said it was in the 1950s. Child said 1950s, 1930s. Child, back then. Okay, back then. It was wrong. It was wrong, honey. Whether it's the 30s, the 50s, the 20s, I don't give a damn. It was wrong. Okay. Oh my God. Says that we don't care. Says that we don't care. Look what Trump is doing. Yeah, well, Trump is definitely behind some of this racial activity, we call it that, where people are feeling like they can do certain things without accountability. Okay. Yeah, it's not good. Thank you, Melinda, for your comment. You're saying that if it was the other way around, there would be no trial. Probably. You also say you think it's self-defense. Yes, we talked about it. I said love in the background. Thank you so much. I keep trying to change it up so we don't get bored with the same look. Okay, but I appreciate it, guys. Somebody said we knew it was coming. Bernice Farmer said we knew it was coming. We kind of hinted on that this morning when we covered it. Sweet Essence says that area on Frisco is very indifferent to U.S. That if you know what I'm saying. Yep. Schoolboy was saying that this morning that she feels that it's kind of like a racially motivated type of town, a side of town where people don't like certain kinds, so they act in certain ways like you don't belong somewhere, or turn their nose up if you're in certain areas over there. So y'all be safe, child, when you're out and about, because child, Trump being in office is a lot of stuff going on. All right. So Melinda says that as she should protect her own. Okay. I agree. We need more people. We need more judges like that in the judicial system to look up or look out for our young boys who find themselves in situations like that. This is his first time ever being in trouble. You know, and he was probably scared. He was probably scared. There's no telling what was exchanged or what the other person said to him that made him feel the need to take it to that next level. That's why I said there has to be a video somewhere. I'm pretty sure they're going to have it in court, but there has to be a video, because usually when there's an altercation that ensues, someone is going to always pull out their phone. Somebody got a video of this. Someone has a video of this from beginning to end. All right. So I'm just hoping that they'll find it. Hopefully there may be some cameras at the particular event that this happened at too. Said that the cowards were the two boys who ganged up on him. Yeah, you don't walk up to somebody and do that, because you don't know what a person will do. You don't know a person's mentality. What if that person was like literally crazy or had some type of, you know, maybe that person was crazy. They could have been a psycho person. You got to be watching. You got to watch it nowadays when you walk up to a person and be demanding and aggressive like that, because you can spark that person to then be aggressive towards you, and it could end very badly if you do that. All right. So this is crazy and cruel. Absolutely. Sweet Essence says that I'm wondering if this would have been the same reaction if a white judge was assigned to this case. Would this be the same comment if a white judge reduced bond? Yeah, it makes you wonder, right? Does make you wonder. Let's see. Denise Slay says that, but we as a whole always forgive. All right, one more comment, then we're gonna have to move on to our last and final topic. So Felicia says that I'm a mom and grandma. I didn't and will not teach mine to tolerate bullying. Me either. Says especially when they put their hands on them. Absolutely, you gotta take up for yourself, honey, because a bully. The only way to stop a bully is to show him you're not afraid. Period. I tell my son that all the time. Okay. All right. So let's move on, because there's an update on this Diddy situation. This is an update. So let's get that up on the screen so you guys can see it. They're giving a description of Diddy. They're saying that Diddy child is all white now. Diddy got all white beard and hair and everything. Now he's in there stressing out. Okay. They said when they saw him come out in court, he looked like he was very much so unbothered. I really feel like Diddy is bothered. He is bothered because of all of these case trials and charges that he's facing. I feel like he's bothered. I feel like he was bothered when he knew he couldn't bond out. That's when I really knew it hit his ass. But because he kept trying to get out. He wants to be out because I know he is, that lifestyle change, it has to be taking him out of here. So let's get into what they're saying. They said that Diddy Combs pleads not guilty to the new charges. All right. So they're steady racking up charges for him and piling on more charges. And he's saying not guilty, not guilty, not guilty. Let's get into it.
Not guilty to the expanded criminal indictment, charging that he used his business empire for criminal activities for nearly 20 years. The feds say that's what he's guilty of, but his defense team insists it was all consensual sex. Now, I've got to tell you that Diddy walked into the courtroom with a big smile and a new look, along with a new attitude, as he was brought into the 26th floor courtroom at 500 Pearl. His hair has turned white, and he had a haircut and trim goatee. He appeared relaxed throughout the proceeding, acting like he did not have a care in the world. But nothing could be further from the truth. This superseding indictment brings the total number of sex trafficking and racketeering criminal charges he is facing to a total of 5. A conviction on even a couple of the counts could keep him behind bars for decades. His lawyers told the judge that due to tens of thousands of new emails connected to the latest charges, they may need a 2-week postponement to the start of the trial, which is currently scheduled for May 5th. Now, Judge Arun Subramanian told the court that this case is a freight train headed toward trial and gave the defense team 48 hours to file a formal request to delay the start of the trial by 2 weeks. So that decision will be coming this week if, in fact, they do file that application. But regardless, they'll all be back here in court on Friday to iron out any other pretrial issues that remain.
Yeah, Diddy's lost a lot of weight. Like I said, he's very much so stressed and behind those walls. He's stressing. I know at one point they were saying that he was not eating anything, that he was kind of doing like almost like a hunger strike. He wasn't eating. And he was having like hallucinations because you guys know he was on the pink coquiana. He's not able to get that in there. Or maybe he is, because sometimes they do bring drugs in jail. But he's really going through it. But he was really trying to maintain his composure and still have that Diddy vibe in jail. But a lot of people saw straight through it when he came out in the all white hair and the all white beard, and noticeably very much so smaller than when he went in a few months ago. So he is not looking so good, and you can really tell by just the sketch that he's very much so stressed out. So let's continue.
We're live in Lower Manhattan. I'm Lisa Evers, Fox 5 News. Stephen Natasha. Combs pleaded not guilty.
Let's go ahead and read. So he pled not guilty to all the charges, which I do feel like I said, if they don't get him on the racketeering, they're definitely going to get him on the SEX trafficking and vice versa, as well as all of the other charges that he has coming, because they keep piling them on. There's more and there's more. So they've gone through emails which are linking him to some inappropriate activity, and they're looking into that, and they're saying they may have to push his trial back from May 5th back to another date, a later date, because of, you know, with all the new information that's coming in, they still have to sift through that and look at that information as well to see how and where they're going to place it in terms of charges. If it's going to be under the RICO, under the SEX trafficking, if it's going to be under the Constitution, like what area are they going to be placing this, because he is facing an indictment. So let's get into it. A few weeks ago, jail business mogul Sean Diddy Combs was slapped with a new SEX crime charges by federal prosecutors. Now, these latest allegations filed under a third superseding indictment include one count of SEX trafficking and one count of transportation of engaged in prostitution involving victim 2, one of 3 women named in the newly updated case. It goes on to say, according to April 3rd in indictment, said the prosecutors alleged that Combs' criminal behavior continued from 2021 to 2024, all while running his multi-million-dollar empire. Said the U.S. attorneys claimed that the music mogul weaponized his success, turning his multifaceted business empire into a criminal enterprise spanning over 2 decades. R. Kelly did the same thing. He is currently serving 30 years. Diddy is facing the same thing. I'm not sure why these moguls feel like they're untouchable and they feel that they can do these types of things in their businesses and hide these types of crimes in their businesses like this, because when you do it, it's an enterprise type of crime where not just you, but other people who are probably under Diddy will get some immunity for testifying against him. I see that because the same thing happened with R. Kelly. So people who were doing some crimes with R. Kelly in his enterprise, they were able to avoid jail time, and they were doing some real serious stuff in aiding and abetting his crimes. But since they snitched on him and they gave the feds what they wanted in order to take R. Kelly down, they were able to get immunity and go on with their lives. In this case here, do I feel like some people would get immunity in the Diddy case? Absolutely, because at the end of the day, they want Diddy. They've been wanting to get Diddy. Diddy's been getting away with things all the way since the 90s, like very, very bad things. There's been rumors of bodies, that Diddy had bodies, and we know about Tupac Shakur, we know about Biggie, we know about Wolf, we know about, I can keep going. I can keep going of people who are no longer here that's connected to Diddy. Diddy's name came up in the trial with Tupac being unalive, with the man who is actually on trial right now, who is in prison for the unaliving of Tupac. He's saying that Diddy paid him X amount of millions of dollars to do the job. So I don't know. Diddy's name is coming up in a lot of crazy shit. But in terms of the case, the trial that he is facing right now, this is, I feel like it's going to bring him down. And do I feel like Diddy knows that he's probably going to get some time? Absolutely. Because they would have let him out by now. They would have let him out. He would have got a bond. It's not looking too good. It's not looking too good. So if they don't get him on RICO, definitely prostitution. If not prostitution, definitely trafficking, because they do have video, and it sounds like they do have email and video evidence as well. And I did see somewhere else where there were text messages they retrieved from multiple cell phones of information where they were setting up freak offs and sexual crimes for underage girls to meet at certain locations for sexual favors, if you will. That could be prostitution, especially if they're underage. That's another crime. So I don't feel like he's going to be found not guilty of everything that he's being charged for, especially with people cooperating with the feds and giving their statements in order to some get immunity and some to see some justice, because a lot of people are afraid to speak on Diddy and speak about Diddy because of his power, and he could come off as being a very scary person. Diddy is known to put hands on people or have hands put on people. So it's a great thing that he is still locked up, because that gives people who were violated or allegedly violated the chance to come forward and speak freely without feeling any type of fear or intimidation. Okay, because y'all know how that works. If you tell, you know what they say on the street: stitches get stitches. Nah, if something like that happened to you and you were made to be in a certain enterprise, then you should talk if you can. Okay, think about some of the women who've not come forward that experience some of this same stuff because out of fear. Some people don't want their name in the news. Some people don't want to be, because they're asking, hey, we don't want them to be called Jane Doe in court. We want names. So already you're trying to victimize the victim. You're trying to victimize and shame the victim. It's victim shaming. And we don't want that. Anybody who's been violated in any way, shape, or form, they should be able to come forward and still be under the name of Jane Doe to protect their innocence and their identity, because you still have to live after this. You don't want a person to see you on the street be like, ain't you that girl that went through that prostitution ring with Diddy? Like, you want to be able to still move on with your life. So press to everybody involved, and shout out to Cassie for kicking the door down on this whole entire case. If it wasn't for Cassie filing her lawsuit, Diddy would not be in jail right now, because think about it. Diddy's gotten away since the 90s. So it's time. Same with R. Kelly. R. Kelly got away since the 90s. Diddy, it's your turn. And I keep saying the next person I think they may get could be Jay-Z. Who knows? But we'll see. Allegedly. We'll see. We will see. All right. They're bringing all out. They're bringing all of the industry people down one by one. All right. They're getting them one by one. But I will keep my ears to the streets for any updates on these two topics that I get. And once I get them, you guys will get the updates as well. So keep your notifications on. Let's stop sharing and get back to my main screen. Keep your notifications on, and I will keep you guys updated as I get it. All right. Shout out to all of my mods, KBR, Bill Wilson, Scorpion, Miss Tyra. Thank you, Rose Ormstead, True TV Podcast. Thank you guys for doing an awesome job. Thank you to my Caramelians for coming back to catch this video. Thank you to the people in the bushes that did not want to be in the chat. It's okay, as long as you watch the video. All right. Please tell a friend to tell a friend. Come on over to the Caramel Rail Show. Subscribe. Check out the videos. All right. And yeah, thank y'all so much. Like the video, share the video, and subscribe. All right, let's get out of here, honey. Enjoy your day. I'll be back later on, honey. I will be back with more news you can use. Let's go.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, go.